Hi, today I'm going to show you how I make a fitted chair leg sock. I use these on my chairs, and you have to replace them because they will get worn out, and in my house a lot of dog hair will collect on them, and after a while they just look disgusting. But in the meantime, they save me a lot of squeaking and nasty noises when I have to move my chairs across the floor. What you need is worsted weight yarn, a 3.75 millimeter hook, pair of scissors, and a bent tip yarn needle. Now I start, as I do all of my crochet projects, with a slip knot, and I put that on my hook. And for the purposes of a chair leg sock, I chain 3 instead of 4. I do not use a magic ring. A magic ring can open up. It doesn't happen often, but it's sad when it does. So I chain 3 and I join with a slip stitch, that first chain made. And then I try to be careful not to go into here or here, but to go into the center, which is very small, which is what you want. And I'm going to work this in a spiral, and I start by crocheting 6 single crochets into that ring. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because I'm working in a spiral, I'm not going to chain or join or anything like that. I'm just going to go into the first single crochet I made now, and I'm going to work 2 stitches into each single crochet until I've worked 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, that was into my first stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I just completed the second round, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to do the third round. This is going to be the last round of increase, and I'm going to work 2 single crochets into 1 stitch, and then I'm going to work a single crochet into the next stitch, and then I'm going to repeat that 6 times. Working in the round, very useful to know your multiples of 6. So we'll do the first one. Oh, here comes the jot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're 2/3 the way there. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have finished the first 3 rounds. We're going to stop here and take a moment to see how we've progressed. And I'm going to measure it because it should measure about 1 3/8 inches. And it measures about 1 3/8 inches. And then the other thing I'm going to do at this point, because after this we're just going to, there's no more increasing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weave in this end at the bottom because it's virtually impossible to do once you've completed the piece. I usually save weaving in ends for the last possible moment, and on this particular project this is the last possible moment. So I'm going to weave in this end. Wrestling here with my bent tip needle and my yarn. So that was probably sufficient. I'm going to go ahead and trim that. And now we're going to work the next 4 rounds without an increase. So that'll be just a single crochet into each stitch. So that's going to be a total of 72 stitches. And I like to mark the first one with a piece of yarn. That way I can keep track. So there's my first stitch. And then I'll just work my way all the way around one stitch into each stitch. I'm going to do that for 4 rounds. So this is probably not the most exciting thing going on the planet, but once you put these on your chairs and you don't have to listen to that awful squeaking, that part of it's pretty exciting. Yeah, between my dog barking and jets flying overhead at my house, any little noises I can get rid of, you know, that's kind of nice. So then back to my first stitch of the round. So this is going to be the 5th round of this project. The excitement builds. Once we finish this round, there will only be 4 rounds left and 1 end to weave in. You know, where can you get that kind of excitement on a Saturday? Okay, 2 more rounds to go. I like to use this little method of marking because then I can count the number of rows, and if I make a mistake and I feel compelled to pull something out, I have a better shot at finding it. So this is our 6th round. I don't know what you can hear. We've got some cicadas in my yard that are making their cicada noises. It's the end of summer now, and it just seems like it's going by so quickly. It's like summer used to be twice as long. Might be hotter now, but it's much shorter. Okay, so this is going to be my last round of working a single crochet into a single crochet. And you can see this was the 4th round, so 4, 5, 6, 7. So I just find this method very handy when I'm making amigurumi or basically working anything in the round, to mark that first stitch so I can see what's going on and just kind of keep track of stuff. Now for these next 2 rounds on a project this size, I don't really mark the rounds anymore because there's very little left to do. Okay, so we finished the bulk of it. Now what we need to do is we need to do a round of decrease, and then we're going to do single crochet into each of those rounds and finish up with a slip stitch. So for a project like this, I don't like to use the invisible decrease. I just use the regular decrease. I use invisible decrease on all of my amigurumi, but this is not amigurumi. So to do a decrease, you're going to insert the hook. This is a single crochet decrease. So you insert the hook into the stitch, the first stitch to be decreased, pull it forward, then you stick it in without doing anything else. You stick it into the next stitch, yarn over, pull it forward, then yarn over and go through all 3. You've made your decrease. Now my next stitch, I just need a single crochet. So now I have 2 stitches. The 3rd stitch is going to be a decrease. So I'm going to insert it into the stitch that I want to, the first stitch of the 2 of the decrease, pull it forward, insert it into the second stitch, pull it forward. I have 3 loops. Take it all the way through. Then I work my single crochet. Now I'm going to do the single crochet decrease again over these next. I'm going to insert the hook into the first stitch of the decrease, pull it forward, insert the hook into the second decrease, stitch of the decrease, pull it forward, yarn over, and then single crochet into that one. We have 2 more decreases to do. So insert, pull forward, insert, pull forward, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. It's done. Regular single crochet. Then we do another decrease. And we have 1 last decrease to do. I was wrong. We didn't have 2 decreases. We had 3 left to go. So now I have 12 stitches, and I'm going to work a single crochet into each one of them. So we'll count 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, so close, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're almost done. All that's left is a slip stitch. Trim that end, weave it in, and you're good to go.